Welcome back, Insiders. Today we're going to take a look at the Playmobil version of the DeLorean from the Back to the Future line. We're going to look at some of the details it has, some of its durability, how well it matches up to the other DeLoreans, and actually just give you an overview on this impressive vehicle. First off, when people think of Playmobil, they think of really small children's toys. Just disposable, throw it around, knock them around, and that's about it. But as you can see in front of us, their version of the DeLorean looks very nice. I mean, if I didn't tell you it was Playmobil, would you have guessed it? Probably not. So we're going to take a look at this vehicle today from the side view of the DeLorean. Very good match all the way to the front. We have that, the back areas looking good all the way around. A lot of the features match the movie version, which would be the Back to the Future original movie, mixed with a little bit of Back to the Future 2 in here. The doors, they should pop right open, as you can see. The gold doors, or seagull doors, both open up. You can take a look inside, if I can bring this closer. Nice little detail on the inside. Little flux capacitor in the back, which you'll see in greater detail when I light this baby up. It does light up, which is a great feature. But overall, the DeLorean looks great. The tires are rubber tires, a mixture of plastic. And is there some metal involved? No, it's mostly plastic, but a heavy-duty plastic on this car. As you can see, it's a great looking version of the DeLorean. Even though it says Playmobil and you think it's going to be a little tiny child's toy, it makes a great addition to your collection for Back to the Future. Some of the more detailed features I like to get into now. You can take a look back here. This is where the plutonium goes, and if you lift this up, you can see it's a tiny little canister of plutonium, which plugs right back into the bottom. In the second movie, if you remember correctly, they had I believe the Mr. Fusion, which was a take on the Mr. Coffee, right here instead of the plutonium. So this kind of symbolizes the first Back to the Future car. But then when I show you this feature, which is the tires actually pop and snap and get into the hover ability of the second movie. So you can do this to all the tires. All you do, if you can see here, there's a little release. It folds the tires in. Each one has them. You just pop it in, fold them down, and you have the hover version. You just pop this hose back in, it popped out. Now you have the hover version of the DeLorean from the second movie. So this is an amalgamation of the first DeLorean and the second DeLorean from the first and second movies. Okay. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shut down the light of my light box and activate the lighting feature and see how well it comes over on camera. There we go. As you can see, it's got a flashing light mode, which will on itself, it should turn solid and then it will eventually turn off, if I remember correctly. There we go. Now it's kind of pulsing into a solid form of light. And then it should turn off on its own. Okay. What this does lack though, which I wish it had some, is any sort of sound to the vehicle. There we go, the light's turned off. Let's pop that right on again so you can see it one more time. Just push the button on the bottom here, right about there. And you'll see the lights activate. Pretty neat looking. Like I was saying, what it does lack is any sort of sound effects, whether it's the engine revving or it hitting, 88 miles per hour, making a burst sound, or even a little bit of music would be neat, but it's just quiet, which is odd. I mean, if it's going to light up, I'd like to have some sound on it. Now what I want to show you also is when I pop open the door here, see if we can really see this when I turn the lights on, is we got the flux capacitor. There we go. Let's see if you can see inside there. Should be able to see through the windshield. There's a flux capacitor there, and through the side view you can see it there, which is a nice touch. I mean, it's a lot of detail for a little area inside. So, you know, when they say this is a kid's toy, I don't know how much a small child would know about these things, the flux capacitor being back there. So I think it's nicely geared to some adult collectors also. Now guys, let me show you one other feature or little gadget it has to really show that it came from the first movie. Also, it's such a blend, is this connecting rod here that goes into the back. Let me see if I can get a nice shot of that. See, with the hook on the top. For those who watch the movie know that at the end of the movie, Marty and Doc come up with a plan to have their car hit the needed power to get back by hitting a wire, hooking it from this hook here, catching the wire, which at that time would be struck by lightning and be able to power the car. Whoop, there it goes down. All it does is pop right in and out of there, so you don't have to have it in, but if you do, it makes a nice effect. Now, Playmobil doesn't just come with the vehicle, the DeLorean. There are figures that also come with it. Now, keep this in mind that I'm not quite sure that I have the actual figures that came with this, because I bought several sets. I bought a Christmas Advent calendar set through Playmobil. I also bought a couple of individual 2-pack figures. I think we have, what came with it was the Marty right here. Marty with the skateboard and the camera. Do I have the camera in there? Yes, I do. So he goes in there. You have Doc, as he's seen at the beginning of Back to Future, holding the remote control. And I believe you also have Einstein, if I'm not mistaken. So you have the Doc, Marty, Einstein, and the DeLorean within the packaging from Playmobil for the DeLorean. I do have to check that, so if I got that wrong, please let me know in the comments. But otherwise, it's a nice set of figures and a nice vehicle. Now watch this, guys. Last thing before we wrap it up. You can take Marty, take the accessories off, and he does a little bit of effort, but not much. Can sit inside, and can he actually close? You bet. Closes right down. So you can actually fit the figures inside the vehicle. And I'm sure Doc on the other side would fit equally as well. It's one thing that I like about play sets or vehicles with action figures. They need to match, they need to interact, they need to be in the same universe, so they need to be scaled appropriately. And this definitely does scale appropriately. Let me throw some color back on for you guys. So that's the DeLorean with the figures from Playmobil. Nice little likeness of Marty, but still keeping it pure Playmobil. So it has a blend of Playmobil and Back to the Future, and if anybody looked at this, they could definitely tell this was Back to the Future characters, as well as being a Playmobil toy. So just to wrap up this review, is this going to be a buy, wait, or pass? Well, it's definitely going to be a buy if you like Back to the Future. I would not pass this up. It retailed on the shelves. I bought it for mid-40s. If you can still find it on the shelves, which I believe you can at Walmarts and Targets, etc., you should be able to get around that price. On the secondary market, I just saw it running for around $75. So you want to not wait too much longer to pick it up if you're interested. So if you're a Back to the Future fan, you don't have to be a Playmobil fan, but after this, you may want to start looking into the Playmobil lines too. But if you're a Back to the Future fan, go ahead and pick it up. No need to wait on it. Waiting will only increase the pricing. And would you pass? There's really nothing to pass on. If you just don't like the vehicle, then you're going to pass. If you don't like the movie, you're going to pass. But if you're a fan of it, there's nothing that's going to detract you from picking this up. Well, that's about a wrap up on this video, guys. As always, if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscription button if you haven't subscribed yet. And any comments, please leave below. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like about this, and what you'd like to see in the future. As always, enjoy your day, and until next time, take care.